So 1901 came to an end, seeing the Philadelphia Athletics win the AL with 82 wins. The Pittsburgh Pirates, 84 wins. They win the NL, making them the de facto champions for the year 1901 based on record alone. Batting leaders see Nap Lajoie, 386, just edge out Elmer Flick, who hit 385. Mike Donlin from Baltimore with 17 home runs. Jimmy Williams from Baltimore at 15. Must be easy to hit home runs there. Ed Delahunty with 13. Buck Freeman, 128. Runs batted in. Nap Lajoie with 116. And Elmer Flick with 112. Over 40 stolen bases for Ginger Beaumont on Pittsburgh with Honus Wagner right behind him, 42, and Topsy Hartzell from the Cubs, the Orphans rather, soon to be Cubs, 41. Rube Radell really pitched well, as the Orphans actually had a really good year compared to how they really played. Christy Mathewson with the most strikeouts. Dummy Taylor with the most wins by 3. And Joe McGinnity is famous here for throwing both legs of doubleheaders, which is pretty funny. Cy Young is trying to make sure that he retains that title of making sure that the award is named after him. With the most wins above replacement, Rube Waddell with a nice FIP. And Dummy Taylor crushing with innings pitched over everybody. So that's a big lead over the rest. Here's the expanded standings with the leaders on the left side and the right side for the respective leagues. We're in control of the Blues. We got pretty unlucky. I'm going to go into the expanded standings here. Philadelphia wins, Pittsburgh wins. The expanded standings, we were -4 on the Pythagorean win-loss. We had a horrible record in one-run games, just horrendous for the Blues. But there were a worse performer. Boston had almost 70 wins, I think. They had 69 and 69. And they finished 25 games below, so I mean, it could be worse. The Blues had 54 wins. We were unable to get there, but next year I think there's some good things on the way. Don't need to look at that. We'll take a look at the statistics. I'm just going to go over these pretty quickly. With only 16 teams in the league, I'm going to just combine leagues and not just use AL and NL for right now. There's no awards anyways, so we'll just go this way, and I'm not going to really go through them. I'm just going to save like kind of these as screenshots. Like everything's on the screen. It can be paused just to take a look at the players. It's not that big of a deal. Then I'll go to the pitching leaders. I mean, hot and cold, again, not a big deal. Streaks, not a big deal. These projected things, not a big deal, but we'll go to fielding leaders next. Who led in errors? Bill Hallman. In the real season, there were players with 90 errors, so the errors were really calm in this playthrough. There's the team statistics. Pitching. The better your team is, the more innings pitched you have, because the more times you win at home and don't have to bat in the 9th inning. On the contrary, the more times you lose on the road, the less you get to pitch in the 9th inning. Here's the fielding. Nasty. -29 zone rating over there for the Cleveland Blues. Pretty bad. Caught stealing, pretty bad. RNG, which is actually range factor. It's not randomness. Team finances actually don't matter because everything is in a historical form, but I just laughed because I saw the fan loyalty for the Blues. We have 4 fans. I am one of them. Cookies is another one. Yanni's another one. Historical simulation accuracy, so plus minus. I guess fielding's broken. Stolen base percentage is broken because, I mean, it wasn't 100. Oh, this is 1901. What? They must have not updated 1901, so can't really do anything about that. So let's go over to league reports. Elmer Flick was the best batter. Nap Lajoie the best batter. Here's the power rankings, the final power rankings, the league leaders. We're going to go through all of these. Not news, though. Major transactions. I mean, it's nothing. Didn't need to click that. Team versus team, I wanted to go there. I wanted to look at these anyways. And this actually fits on one page. That's nice. So I did want to look at the team versus team. Looks like we were really good against Milwaukee. That's about it. Everyone else we were really bad against. Really, really bad. Yikes. Top performances is good, yeah. Dave Fultz, he hit that damn home run against me in the 9th inning. Mike Donlin also had a really good game against the Blues. Oh, Bill Bradley sneaking on there. The 24th best game. All right, Bill. That's all we got, though. Like, nothing. We don't have any top performers next year. Just wait. Next year we'll have some. We didn't have any pitchers. Pretty bad. All right. Let's go to... Yeah, we can go look at... I guess. I don't know. This is probably silly to look at. I'll just scroll down. I'm not going to go over this. This is too much to go over. Hey, Cookies. You're in the video. All right, top systems. There we go. This is good. Whoa, the Reds. Too bad I don't think systems matter. Because, like, next year, we're going to be so much better because the players that come over here. Preseason predictions, they're not generated. There's their batting report. Like, this stuff I can always, I don't even know. I don't know if I can actually look at this again. Now that I think about it, like, because if I go into the league reports, I don't know, like, it'll be next year's stuff. So the reason why I'm kind of looking at all this stuff to make sure that we have it is just so it's, like, saved on a video somewhere. So all the stats. And I don't want to spend too much time on it because I don't want the video to be too long. Under the knife is injuries. Schedule grid is what I wanted to look at, but I wanted it to be results. That's really ugly. I wanted it to be, like, there's a different one. A different, like, team versus team thing. It's not this one. There's, like, a matrix, I thought, but maybe there's not. Rookie pool, we don't need that. Team power rankings, there you go. Top players in the league. Notice the Cleveland Blues have none. So I think we did pretty good for ourselves. We don't have any of these players. Literally. None. So the good news is I can identify all of these players. I know who they are now. I didn't before I did this playthrough, that's for sure. All right. We don't need a financial report. So that leads us to I don't think there's anything here. History index 1901, I guess. We can't look at the whole history, and this will be saved forever, so that's fine. I don't have to look at that now then. And then that leads us to the teams. So here's the Blues team. So what we're going to do is go team by team really quick. But I think I'm just going to end up on here, on this page. Because the statistics will be saved forever, not in a team facet, but at least as players. So I think I'm just going to go team by team on this page. Like meet the team, I could do that, but it doesn't make, like, I don't know. We'll just do this with their summary. Oh, they changed their lineup. This is how they would bat it if it was the simulator, but they use the same lineups as the real lineups, so it never turns out that way. So that's Detroit finishing second. Here you go, Boston Americans with Buck Freeman and Cy Young. Baltimore Orioles, the league leader of home runs by 4, Mike Donlin. Washington Senators fell way behind, 19 and a half games behind here. I never updated the stream title. It's funny. I can do that right now. I'm locally recording, at least, so the video won't matter when I'm looking for it. But let's go to the Brewers. Historical simulation. And the Blues were next, which is my team, so we already looked at them. Pete Dowling. But see, this is how it ended, by the way. So this is not how our team was the whole way, and we're not going to go ahead and look at all the statistics. That would just be too much, and no one really would care about that. Anyways, those statistics are available within the game. What won't be available will be these screens, though. So, like, this particular screen next year will be completely different. So that's why it makes sense to take this, at least. So now we'll go into the NL, I guess. And do it this way. But yeah, as soon as the next season starts, like, this will all change to the next year's stuff. And then St. Louis was not right behind them at all. It was a battle for second place. St. Louis had good pitching, and St. Louis had a good top of the order. The rest of the team, I don't know. Pittsburgh's pitching is just superior. And then Chicago only had 53 wins in real life. They had 21 more wins in this simulation. That's kind of what I wanted to have happen with my team, and it ended up happening to this team. Topsy Hartzell, 13 home runs. Like, Danny Green and Topsy Hartzell with those WARs, 7.5 and 7. I wanted to talk a little bit about this team because it was crazy, the difference in the simulations that I was seeing. They were winning so many games at the end, too. They would just score 4 runs in, like, the 8th inning and win by 1. It was happening all the time. And then they had the pitchers, just a whole, like, Tom Hughes did really good, and, like, Jock Menifee, Jack Taylor, Mal Eason, they were all able to, like, finish the games in the 9th inning. Like, look at these ERAs. So this team, I don't know, this team really exceeded expectations on all levels. Was really impressed with the way that they were rated. I don't know. I'd be interested in how they would perform if we did that season again. I mean, that's not going to happen unless I decide to do another one of these in 20 years. So, Phillies, we have Elmer Flick coming to the Cleveland Blues. That's cool. You can see. I maybe should have gone over the teams more and just briefly touch base on them, because I have I have stuff that I've seen, similar to the Chicago ones. I could have stuff to add. It would be good for the videos, so maybe I'll just start doing it now, but I don't want to go back necessarily. Nothing really stands out here, though. Emin Alworth was a good pitcher. You can see that. Brooklyn. Brooklyn had 79 wins, and they fell 8 short. They had good hitting. The pitching, I don't know. The pitching just wasn't great. Doc Newton was really bad for a while. Jimmy Sheckard, though, really outstanding player. I like this division graph. They should just cut out April. It's so ridiculous. New York Giants overperformed. 70 wins. And they won 52 in the real life. It was Christy Mathewson, who's one of the better pitchers in this era. But he didn't even lead the team in innings pitched. I mean, Dummy Taylor, what a 1-2 punch. They really performed well, too. Christy Mathewson, I think the reason maybe they performed really well is because Christy Mathewson came in relief a lot in this game. Because when the pitchers can't get through it, they'll just bring in someone that can. And it was Christy Mathewson for the most part. And that was the main difference from the box scores in real life compared to these ones. These ones just always had Christy Mathewson relieving. Let's take a look really quick. I don't want to do this too much, but I'm gonna look at his games and games started. See? So we have 54 games, 37 games started, so that's 17 relief appearances. Let's take a look at the real life. Maybe I'm wrong. See? 40 and 38. So I bet you the Giants won more games because they were just pitching Mathewson more than he really pitched. Which is fine, but that's the simulator at work, and that's why it won't give you perfect results. I'm not looking for perfect results either. Like, figuring out why they're different is good enough for me. Cincinnati won 10 more games than normal. Because Noodles Hahn probably won 10 more games than normal. Seriously, 23 wins? How many did he really have? Wow, 22 wins. I stand corrected. Noodles Hahn makes me want some ramen. Pitched really well. This team was pretty good. I was expecting a 52-win team, you know. This is kind of what I wanted from my team. So my team was supposed to win 54 games. I wanted to win about 60. And we almost could have, but we just lost way too many one-run games. They just kept scoring. 2 outs to go in the 9th inning. The last team, Boston Beaneaters. My goodness. Like, look, these ERAs, almost all 5. But look, it's funny, because in, like, today's game, those would be okay. They wouldn't be great, but they wouldn't be horrible. Like, since I've been born, I've noticed, since, like, you know, in the 90s, I've noticed that there's always, like, a pitcher with 5 ERA in the rotation. Like, there's not enough good pitchers in Major League Baseball. There'll be a couple great pitchers, and there'll be a bunch more dominant ones. And then there'll be a bunch of substandard pitching. And then below that, you still have people that pitch. Those people are the ones that are just getting crushed. But it's just because they have to pitch so many innings, and there just aren't enough arms. And they get hurt, too. Like, a lot of the good pitchers just get hurt. Like, just that's injuries. So, like, today's standards, this would be okay, but back then, you did not have these type of ERAs. Like, those are horrible for a whole rotation. 4 runs, 5 runs per game in a dead ball era were, I mean, those are last place numbers. And they got beat up everywhere, it appears. So, that will do it here for the teams. I'm not sure what else we could look at other than Cleveland Blues specific stuff, which sounds good to me now. So what I want to do at the end here is I want to look at all the Blues stuff, because I'm more focused on than anything is the progression of the way Cleveland's franchise worked. I'll do a bird's eye view with every other team, but I only have enough time to really study, one team seriously. So I want to check out the team. I want to put everything on here. Meet the team. We already met the team plenty of times, plenty of occasions. This guy's fake though, so these guys are fake. The real manager was probably a player. Team history. Dude, we were 20 and 134 last year. I mean, 53 and 83 is pretty good, to be honest. I didn't realize we were that bad. Our team chemistry is feuding. Holy moly. We have selfish players, Irv Beck and Bill Bradley. This is not good, friends. I don't know what to tell you. Dick Braggins is the captain. Of course he's disrupted. Can I change this? I wonder if I can actually change this stuff. Like, can I do stuff about this in this mode with the historical stuff? What is going on? We have fights. Dick Braggins is truly a great captain. What? How? The spark plug is Joe Connor. At least no one's... Oh, we don't have a spark plug. Joe Connor's and Frank Jennings are unmotivated. We have no pranksters. That's good. Oh, so he's just the captain. He's not disruptive. That's over there. That's funny. We have bad relationships going on. This is soap opera shit, dude. Make cards for all players. Here's our cards, updated. These were from the beginning of the year. So I'm going to update all the teams before next year starts. I think I'm going to simulate my spring training, too. No, I'm not. I think I'm going to play it. I think I'm going to play the spring training. Because I want to learn about my team, I think. But I'll just play it fast. I won't play, because the stats won't matter. But the spring training last time, it took me too long. So those are the team settings. We don't care about that. I don't think we have any minor leaguers. No. Transactions. We can go through the transactions really quick. So this was January. Then we'll go over here. These are all real transactions, by the way, too. I didn't execute any of these. This is just the way that it worked. All these injuries and stuff. There was Pete Dowling. There goes Bob Wood. There goes Earl Moore. George Yeager's now in Pittsburgh. Now we have Zaza Harvey. A lot of stuff happens. It's pretty neat how it's going to have to follow the actual stuff. The actual way things moved. Makes this nothing. So I'll always ask him for the stuff, the staff. I don't need to do any of this because I just want to see what the AI would do. So I just ask the bench coach for it. But it doesn't matter because it's using historical lineups. Every time I play, it's based on the actual lineup. Excuse me. And then strategy. Yeah, I don't know if we probably can edit this, but this is more for, like, I do this in game. I do my own stuff. This is for when it simulates. But this is cool. Like, if you're just in simulation mode, you can really customize your game. That'll do that. So now here's our team stuff, info. This will be the end of the video. We'll look at how we did. We finished way better than the Pythagorean record, which makes sense because of all the one-run games we lost. 6th in the AL in batting. Nothing stands out. Just 18 home runs, so we're 8th in that, last place. We struck out the most, of course. We walked the least, which is just a fantastic combination, I would say. Jeez. I mean, I was stealing the whole time, and I still had the 7th most steals. This league is tough. These major leaguers, base running. I mean, I was good at base running, it looks like, though. It looks like whatever that statistic is, I don't know what that statistic is, plus 2.6. But at least I decided to run at the right time. Oh my goodness, this zone rating. Minus 29, 8th. Defensive efficiency, 8th. At least we had a bunch of Ks, right? We walked way too many people. Home runs allowed weren't horrible. We just gave up way too many hits. That's batting average on balls in play, so it's different than just average. There's your hits, way too many. Way too many runs are horrible. It's going to change next year, I'll tell you that much. There's our statistics. Irv Beck, player of the year. Candy LeChance right behind him. I miss Jack McCarthy. It was nice to have him here. We have some pitching leaders. Earl Moore, who had a 4.26 ERA instead of 2.90, which was really unfortunate. And then Ed Scott, it was nice to have him here, but then he disappeared, probably injury. He might have just left. I don't know. It's in the transaction. I mean, Ed Scott came in for 5 shutdowns. That's when I was peaking. My team was doing good because I'd put Ed Scott in and he'd just win the game at the end. He'd get out of the inning for me. But then I didn't have anybody like him towards the end of the year. Fielding leaders. Well, obviously our first baseman is the highest fielding percentage because there's not enough strikeouts for the catcher to get there. I mean, the first baseman catches all the outs at first on ground balls, and the catcher catches all the strikeouts, which end up being putouts. So those two are usually the highest. If 41% caught stealing's not bad. Could be way better. But we're not going to look at the reports. I looked at the league reports, though. This is the bare bones bait. This is the stuff that it's really cool. This is how I used to try to make my simulators when I was like younger, 20 years ago, learning about code a little bit. And to practice code, I would try to like make a baseball simulator. This is what I like wanted, to just like break down everything into all these categories as the game got simulated, and to be able to just like, okay, well, how do my players do when it's a 1-2 count? And then you can just see. It's just, this is exactly what I was looking for. And that's why I don't need to do that anymore, because this person did it for me. The creators of this game. I think Marcus, I don't know what's his name. From Germany. I think they're from Germany, though. Pickering with a 1-2 count hit 309. So it's like not a horrible idea to get in that below count. With Pete Dowling, 048. Small sample size, though. And it's not stuff like, you would have to be so dedicated to the game to actually take all this stuff into account when you're playing, because it would take forever to play the game if you had knowledge of all this going in. It's too much. I just think it's crazy how baseball works this way. Like, how do my players do when they're hitting 5th in the order? And there you go. There's all my 5-hole hitters this whole year. It's just crazy. Anyways, we're moving on past the statistical nerd section. So we could go on and on for years over there. There's news. I don't know. We don't need that. We don't need that. Here, this is good. This is good. So apparently they were 20 and 134 2 years in a row, but it's the same stats. So that seems wrong. That seems absolutely impossible. So something's wrong with the history. That's cool. Is it wrong for everybody? It's wrong for everybody. Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be the same statistics for every year. For whatever this is. Whatever this is. To say this is a statistical anomaly. That's all I'll say. Alright, so the Blues, we're going to get better. We will get better. Next year, if we do not have 70 wins during this video, there will be a few F-bombs dropped in the 1902 wrap-up video. That's what I will promise for the next video. Not that I'm going to be releasing these soon. I might actually start releasing these on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe I'll put this on YouTube. Because maybe there'll be like a couple people that see it, and they'll be like, wow, this dude does it live. And then one day they'll be like, wow, this is like 14 hours straight of simulations. What is going on? But it'll be funny. So we don't have any retired numbers. You go back to history. Do we have any accomplishments? We do not. Now, do we have anything specific? Ooh, these guys. I remember playing with these guys. Cap Anson, my dude. Mr. Cap. I wondered, what was I going to do, though? Oh, man. I was going to do something. Accomplishments. Achievements. Like, isn't there a achievement page? It shouldn't be here. Here's the manager's office, Mr. Post. Nothing to see here. We were born in 1886 instead of 1986, so I'm just going to be 100 years older. We were 15 years old, so I did a pretty good job for a 15-year-old, but that's probably why my clubhouse is in shambles. So that doesn't work. I want to look for like the achievements really quick to see what we were able to achieve, you know? But I forget where they're at. It doesn't look like they're in game. It could be here, but it doesn't look like that either. Achievements, history, perfect. So we don't have any diamond ones yet or gold ones. Cookies. Yeah, we don't want to have music because I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, so there's gonna be no music. I could put like a background track maybe in it in the future. I don't want to mess around with this. This is perfect. That's a lot of bronze achievements for 1 year. I guess. I don't even know. I really don't even know. This was so much easier to get when I played in 1871. I would have like 30 runs in a game sometimes. It was fun. Also, it'd probably be a lot easier to do if I actually was able to control my team. But I picked a pretty bad franchise. I picked a franchise that's only won the World Series twice. A lifetime. So, up to date. They've won twice. And we are 125 years ago. So, basically. So, I think there was a auth token there. Yeah. So, that's the end of the video. And I'm going to cut the end of that video so I don't have that auth token in there. So that'll be the end of 1901. It'll be perfect. I'm not going to use it, but definitely don't want that to be in the video. So end of the video is now.